Donald Trump's actions have the potential to make all XRP holders wealthy. The topic of stablecoins will be discussed. Are banks and institutions prepared, correct? Will they approach Ripple and want access to our technology? In this video, I'll go over everything, and I believe you will be shocked by the outcome. They're actually telling us that we'll have to read between the lines if it's not like it's hidden behind closed doors. According to them, stablecoins are the way of the future. All we have to do is listen, shift into position, and prepare to take off. Take a look. Additionally, we will give the stablecoin regime careful consideration, and we will continue to maintain the United States as the world's leading reserve currency as instructed by President Trump. And to do that, we'll employ stablecoins. The US dollar will continue to be the most widely used currency worldwide, and to do that, we'll employ stablecoins. The cause of this, for those who are unfamiliar with the background, one aspect of this is that nations such as China were once among the largest purchasers of US Treasury bills. China is currently one of the largest sellers of Treasury bills, and the US needs a buyer for all of these sold bonds, which may be someone, something, or a new sector. An issue of national security is the bond market. It may have disastrous consequences for all Americans and our allies throughout the world if that were to crumble, collapse, or otherwise suffer a negative event. Okay, take a listen. First, we must, will, and will change this to comprehend what the CEOs of BNY Mellon, Bank of America, and other global bank executives are currently considering in relation to stablecoins and cryptocurrency. Are they prepared? Correct. What are those banks' next courses of action? I want to review all of that data. No one ever notices, so let's grab this lot of other letters. Stablecoins are the stolen letter in digital assets, in my opinion, when it comes to growth potential. Believe that the world's transition to digital assets will be facilitated by stablecoins. The CEO of Bank of America, Brian Moynihan, was recently in Davos. If you saw him, when asked about cryptocurrency during an interview, he responded, "We will be there as soon as we are permitted to be in it. We'll be there to make the payments. That is their top priority." He's prepared to leave. BNY Mellon is no different. "I recently met with the head of BNY Mellon's ETF division." He responded, "We're ready the minute we're allowed to do custody without getting in trouble with a bank regulator." When I asked him what they were doing on custody, "Everything is programmed by us. We're prepared to leave. We're prepared already. It's programmed already, all set to go." The best place to start is with stable currency. I'm sure some of you are aware of this. The biggest stablecoin provider, Tether, claimed $13 billion in profits in 2024, and I'm sure the panel is aware of this. Gains on Bitcoin made up a portion of that. With their Tether assets, Tether made $13 billion, or roughly $6 to $7 billion. Naturally, the remainder was in Bitcoin. Brian Moynihan was mentioned. I would want to play a video clip by Brian Moynihan because Brian Moynihan at Davos, she said. I think this clip is the one. The CEO of Bank of America is Brian Moynihan. He is quite influential in the field. He is a prominent figure in the banking sector, and he will tell you exactly what she told you. The banks are prepared. Give us the all clear. We will guide this nation into the future if we can use the technologies without facing closure or legal action. I may have included that final sentence. There are still 4,000 banks. Therefore, it's not as if the disaggregation industries are taken into consideration. However, let me ask you a different question. Becky had one back in Washington, but we only had Brian Armstrong sitting in your seat when it came to crypto. Of course, there is a great deal of enthusiasm about cryptocurrency. For the most part, the banking industry has avoided cryptocurrency. Do you think Bank of America will be fully involved in the cryptocurrency industry if we had this discussion in a year or 2 years, considering President Trump's fervent support for it? I would keep this kind of cryptocurrency apart from digital money transfers and stable assets, because the vast bulk of our money is already transferred digitally. Both our businesses and consumers do. What is the business procedure that you must follow in order to transfer another kind of currency then? There are still 4,000 banks. It's not as though there is. Okay, this clip is also available here. I'll play it. It seems obvious that a stable currency will exist. One that is fully backed by the dollar and is equivalent to a money market fund with check access. Really, there is no difference between it and a bank account, therefore we'll enter that industry if they legalize that. Since it hasn't been legal for us to do so up until now, you will have a BAS Bank of America running in a bank with a US dollar deposit, and we will be able to travel back and forth. However, it's like another foreign money at that point. It will be interesting to see what it can be used for, the coin of Bank of America. Fascinating. On this channel, haven't we discussed the same thing? Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Okay. BNY Mellon CEO Robin Vance is also present. He will also inform you that banks are prepared. They're prepared. We've been saying this for a few years now, and we haven't altered our stance. We believe that digital assets are a new, exciting, and innovative technology that could play a significant role in the financial system in the 10 to 20 years that lie ahead. We've been investing, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what the road will bring. In addition to having the capacity to hold digital assets and cryptocurrency, we are also investigating the intriguing ledger and smart contract features that the underlying technology offer. Therefore, we believe that this field has an exciting future, but AI is also a factor. It's not simply about digital assets, keep in mind. It concerns I wanted to let you know that you have seen this clip, don't you? Institutions are prepared in 97% of cases. The biggest custodian bank in the world is BNY Mellon. They are the financial institution that your bank uses. Additionally, they conducted a study to find out what institutional asset managers thought about this area. According to that study, 97% of asset managers think tokenization will completely transform the asset management sector. Okay, tokenization will transform asset management, according to 97% of asset managers. Okay? In the United States, how much money are we talking about now? The money supply is currently $21.561 trillion. Of course, it is influenced by all of these other circumstances. However, I wanted to gain a better understanding of the different types of money. Before I explain why banks will use Ripple for their stablecoins, let's take a moment to discuss the types of money. I'll show you some facts and information that make me think that's happening. There are several factors that go into this, but let's start by discussing money. Of course, not all of them will do this. Vault money is present. Coins and notes kept in bank vaults fall under this category, is a component of the reserve of the bank. Additionally, banks retain reserves in the form of electronic balances with central banks, such as the Federal Reserve in the United States, which are used for daily transactions when withdrawals occur. Demand deposits exist. Customers can take money out of these checking accounts whenever they choose. Despite being less liquid than demand deposits, they are a component of the M1 money supply, savings deposits. Savings accounts continue to be regarded as a component of the larger money supply, M2. Of course, there are other accounts, money market funds, and time deposits. Therefore, the majority of this value will ultimately end up on a ledger in a genuine digital format, either through the bank's own stablecoin or, if the bank chooses to hold, if the U.S. government issues its own stablecoin. They have their own digital currency that isn't a CBDC. Can you do it, really? It's actually fascinating that I brought that up since, as you may know, Trump and Republicans have made it very clear that CBDCs are not allowed. Doesn't that imply that the U.S. will have to rely on foreign businesses like Ripple, if they don't issue their own digital currency, to carry that out? I am aware that Trump's real social circle is participating in the stablecoin game. I believe we should take it seriously if the president's own business is entering the stablecoin game. Isn't it happening? The act of genius. Take a listen. What procedures would banks need to follow in order to produce a stablecoin of their own, as if I truly wanted to comprehend this? Let's get started. Licenses and regulatory compliance. First, banks have to make sure that financial regulators are being followed. Since stablecoins linked to fiat currencies may be categorized as deposits requiring recurrent banking licenses, this involves obtaining permits from regulators, e.g., OCC or the FDIC, to create stablecoins. The majority of these institutions will already have that license, but they may require a specific license